Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Hey, Ariel, and thank you for joining me this evening. How have you been, Ariel? I hope all is well with you. Tell me what you've been up to today. My day was good. I just did my driving, and then later towards the end of my day, that's when everything kickstarted and got very busy. I had to pick my granddaughter up from gymnastics. Then I was trying to figure out did I want to sleep over and do one more trial run and taking them to school in the morning. And I decided to do so. Uh, hey, Carolyn. So I decided to go ahead and stay another night. Hey, Tracy. So I can make sure when the parents go out of town, I would know exactly what needs to take place as far as getting them to school. So I one day, and it went well, and I just let my daughter do all the driving. But I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to do the driving, so I can know that I know that what I'm doing. So that's my uh, brilliant idea. So I would try it out tomorrow. And I know everything's gonna be good. As long as you got the GPS and everything and the car's in good run condition, it should be all right. Hey, Dorothy. So, guys, I tell you, I got something very special and interesting um, for us today. You all see my title? My story time tonight, the title is um, He Did Not Mean to Hurt Me. It was my fault. And that is what a lot of women and some men in abusive relationship, they blame themselves. So I thought what would be clever and what would be good for us is just to hear like a 16-minute seminar on domestic violence. Hello, Melina. So, guys, let's get started, and I hope you all enjoy it.
I'm here today to talk about a disturbing question, which has an equally disturbing answer. My topic is the secrets of domestic violence. And the question I'm going to tackle is the one question everyone always asks. Why does she stay? Why would anyone stay with a man who beats her? I'm not a psychiatrist, a social worker, or an expert in domestic violence. I'm just one woman with a story to tell. I was 22. I had just graduated from Harvard College. I'd moved to New York City for my first job as a writer and editor at 17 magazine. I had my first apartment, my first little green American Express card, and I had a very big secret. My secret was that I had this gun, loaded with hollow point bullets, pointed at my head by the man who I thought was my soulmate, many, many times. The man who I loved more than anybody on earth held a gun to my head and threatened to kill me more times than I can even remember. I'm here to tell you the story of crazy love, a psychological trap disguised as love. Women and even a few men fall into every year. It may even be your story. I don't look like a typical domestic violence survivor. I have a BA in English from Harvard College, an MBA in marketing from Wharton Business School. I spent most of my career working for Fortune 500 companies, including Johnson & Johnson, Leo Burnett, and the Washington Post. I've been married for almost 20 years to my second husband, and we have 3 kids together. My dog is a black lab, and I drive a Honda Odyssey minivan. So my first message for you is that domestic violence happens to everyone. All races, all religions, all income and education levels. It's everywhere. And my second message is that everyone thinks domestic violence happens to women, that it's a women's issue. Not exactly. Over 85% of abusers are men. And domestic abuse happens only in intimate, interdependent, long-term relationships. In other words, in families. The last place we would want or expect to find violence, which is one reason domestic abuse is so confusing. I would have told
Can
you
you
myself
guys hear it
that I was the
okay?
last person on earth who would stay with
Give
a
me
man
a
who
thumbs
abused me.
up.
But in fact, I was a very typical victim because of my age. I was 22. And in the United States, women ages 16 to 24 are 3 times as likely to be domestic violence victims as women of other ages. And over 500 women and girls this age are killed every year by abusive partners, boyfriends and husbands in the United States. I was also a very typical victim because I knew nothing about domestic violence, its warning signs or its patterns. I met Connor on a cold, rainy January night. He sat next to me on the New York City subway, and he started chatting me up. He told me 2 things. One was that he too had just graduated from an Ivy League school, and that he worked at a very impressive Wall Street bank. But what made the biggest impression on me that first meeting was that he was smart and funny. And he looked like a farm boy. He had these big cheeks, these big apple cheeks, this wheat blonde hair, and he seemed so sweet. One of the smartest things Connor did from the very beginning was to create the illusion that I was the dominant partner in the relationship. He did this, especially at the beginning, by idolizing me.
Yeah.
We started dating, and he loved everything about me.
Yeah.
That I was smart, that I'd gone to Harvard, that I was passionate about helping teenage girls and my job. He wanted to know everything about my family and my childhood, my hopes and dreams.
So
Connor
familiar.
believed in me as a writer and a woman in a way that no one else ever had. And he also created a magical atmosphere of trust between us by confessing his secret, which was that as a very young boy, starting at age 4, he had been savagely and repeatedly physically abused by his stepfather. And the abuse had gotten so bad that he had had to drop out of school in 8th grade, even though he was very smart. And he'd spent almost 20 years rebuilding his life, which is why that Ivy League degree and the Wall Street job and his bright, shiny future meant so much to him. If you had told me that this smart, funny, sensitive man who adored me would one day dictate whether or not I wore makeup, how short my skirts were, where I lived, what jobs I took, who my friends were, and where I spent Christmas, I would have laughed at you. Because there was not a hint of violence or control or anger in Connor at the beginning. I didn't know that the first stage in any domestic violence relationship is to seduce and charm the victim.
That's right.
I also didn't know that the second step is to isolate the victim.
Oh.
Now, Connor did not come home one day and announce, hey, all this Romeo and Juliet stuff has been great, but I need to move into the next phase where I isolate you and I abuse you. So I need to get you out of this apartment where the neighbors can hear you scream, and out of this city where you have friends and family and coworkers who can see the bruises.
Isolation.
Instead, Connor came home one Friday evening And he told me that he had quit his job that day, his dream job. And he said that he had quit his job because of me, because I had made him feel so safe and loved that he didn't need to prove himself on Wall Street anymore. And he just wanted to get out of this city and away from his abusive, dysfunctional family and move to a tiny town in New England where he could start his life over with me by his side. Now, the last thing I wanted to do was leave New York and my dream job. But I thought you made sacrifices for your soulmate. So I agreed, and I quit my job, and Connor and I left Manhattan together. I had no idea I was falling into crazy love, that I was walking headfirst into a carefully laid physical, financial, and psychological trap. The next step in the domestic violence pattern is to introduce the threat of violence and see how she reacts. And here's where those guns come in.
Oof, I remember that.
As soon as we moved to New England, you know that place where Connor was supposed to feel so safe? He bought 3 guns. He kept one in the glove compartment of our car. He kept one under the pillows on our bed. And the third one he kept in his pocket at all times.
Wow.
And he said that he needed those guns because of the trauma he'd experienced as a young boy. He needed them to feel protected. But those guns were really a message for me. And even though he hadn't raised a hand to me, my life was already in grave danger every minute of every day. Connor first physically attacked me 5 days before our wedding. It was 7 a.m. I still had on my nightgown. I was working on my computer trying to finish a freelance writing assignment, and I got frustrated.
And she still married him?
And Connor used my anger as an excuse to put both of his hands around my neck.
Wow.
And to squeeze so tightly that I could not breathe or scream. And he used the chokehold to hit my head repeatedly against the wall. 5 days later, the 10 bruises on my neck had just faded. And I put on my mother's wedding dress, and I married him. Despite what had happened, I was sure we were going to live happily ever after. Because I loved him, and he loved me so much. And he was very, very sorry. He had just been really stressed out by the wedding and by becoming a family with me.
I remember that.
It was an isolated incident, and
So
he was
sorry.
never going to hurt me again.
On the knees, crawling,
It happened
everything.
twice more on the honeymoon. The first time, I was driving to find a secret beach, and I got lost. And he punched me in the side of my head so hard that the other side of my head repeatedly hit the driver's side window. And then a few days later, driving home from our honeymoon, he got frustrated by traffic, and he threw a cold Big Mac in my face. Connor proceeded to beat me once or twice a week for the next 2.5 years of our marriage. I was mistaken in thinking that I was unique and alone in this situation. 1 in 3 American women experiences domestic violence or stalking at some point in her life. And the CDC reports that 15 million children are abused every year. 15 million. So actually,
Sad.
I was in very good company. Back to my question. Why did I stay?
Why do we stay?
The answer is easy. I didn't know he was abusing me. Even though he held those loaded guns to my head, pushed me downstairs, threatened to kill our dog, pulled the key out of the car ignition as I drove down the highway, poured coffee grinds on my head as I dressed for a job interview.
Wow.
I never once thought of myself as a battered wife. Instead, I was a very strong woman in love with a deeply troubled man. And I was the only person on earth who could help Connor face his demons.
Wow.
The other question everybody asks is, why doesn't she just leave? Why didn't I walk out? I could have left any time. To me, this is the saddest and most painful question that people ask. Because we victims know something you usually don't. It's incredibly dangerous to leave an abuser. Because the final step in the domestic violence pattern is kill her.
Wow.
Over 70% of domestic violence murders happen after the victim has ended the relationship, after she's gotten out, because then the abuser has nothing left to lose. Other outcomes include long-term stalking, even after the abuser remarries, denial of financial resources, and manipulation of the family court system to terrify the victim and her children, who are regularly forced by family court judges to spend unsupervised time with the man who beat their mother. And still we ask, why doesn't she just leave? I was able to leave
Our
because of one
system is
final
messed up.
sadistic beating that broke through my denial. I realized that the man who I loved so much was going to kill me if I let him. So I broke the silence. I told everyone. The police, my neighbors, my friends and family, total strangers. And I'm here today because you all helped me. We tend to stereotype victims as grisly headlines, self-destructive women, damaged goods. The question, why does she stay, is code for some people for it's her fault for staying. As if victims intentionally choose to fall in love with men intent upon destroying us. But since publishing Crazy Love, I have heard hundreds of stories from men and women who also got out, who learned lives, joyous, happy lives, as employees, wives, and mothers, lives completely free of violence. Like me, because it turns out that I'm actually a very typical domestic violence victim and a typical domestic violence survivor. I remarried a kind and gentle man. We have those 3 kids. I have that black lab, and I have that minivan. What I will never have again, ever, is a loaded gun held to my head by someone who says that he loves me. Now, right now, maybe you're thinking, wow, this is fascinating. Or, wow, how stupid was she? But this whole time, I've actually been talking about you. I promise you, there are several people listening to me right now who are currently being abused, or who were abused as children, or who are abusers themselves.
Yeah.
Abuse could be affecting your daughter, your sister, your best friend right now.
Right now.
I was able to end my own crazy love story by breaking the silence. I'm still breaking the silence today. It's my way of helping other victims. And it's my final request of you. Talk about what you heard here. Abuse thrives only in silence.
In silence.
You have the power to end domestic violence simply by shining a spotlight on it.
That's right.
We victims need everyone. We need every one of you to understand the secrets of domestic violence. Show abuse the light of day by talking about it with your children, your coworkers, your friends and family. Recast survivors as wonderful, lovable people with full futures. Recognize the early signs of violence and conscientiously intervene, de-escalate it, show victims a safe way out. Together, we can make our beds, our dinner tables, and our families the safe and peaceful oases they should be. Thank you.
Yep. That was good, guys. So that's going to be our topic tonight. I just want to refresh some people's memories and take some people down memory lane. They've probably already been through domestic violence situation before in their lifetime. But domestic violence is so serious, and so many people are going through it. And just like the lady said, but they doing it in silence. They don't want to tell anybody because I I was ashamed. I was embarrassed that I let myself get in that situation. So I know so many other women feel the exact same way. You don't want to tell anybody. Um, it's many times I went to my mom and wanted to tell her, but I wouldn't tell her. I just like, I don't know. I think I just used to start and then I changed my mind and then change the subject or something like that. But I hope I have an open forum for women that just want to talk about it and discuss it and give their testimonies and tell people about how they escape or some of the traumatic situations that they found themselves in. Uh, we have to talk about it as women, especially out here on this social media platform when we see it right in front of us. We know what it looks like. Those of us that have already lived that and been through that, we know what it looks like. We see it in Coco and Lele relationship. We see it. We looking right at it. And although we know that she's not going to leave and get out of it until she's ready, but I'm thinking if she more people that's encouraging her and telling her how she can do it. She can be like they had this saying long years ago. I can do bad by myself, So the only thing that means is if you're in a bad relationship and you're getting hurt, kicked around, abused. My abuser was mentally, physically, and sexually. So all three. If you get in that, that's bad. And if and it hurts and it's painful and it's shameful. If that's what you're going through, then you can do bad by yourself. Drop that zero and you become a shero. I'm not telling you to jump out of one relationship and go get into another relationship. I'm saying trust your own independence. Never think it's okay for a man to put his hands on you. Now, we know, in our opinion, that Layla do have some pent up rage and anger in her. I don't know where it starts and I don't know where it stops. But I am aware that the relationship before this relationship was even more volatile because the man beat her with a weapon. So that guy probably have never hit her with a weapon, but he still put his hands on her. And I was telling somebody earlier today when they was talking about this same subject, domestic violence, that one thing I can say is when I came up out of that relationship of being abused, I became the aggressor. I was so mean. I'm telling you. The next relationship I got into, that guy caught it. And I was only in the relationship for the abusive relationship for like a year and a half, but that was still too much. I was 20 when I got into that relationship. And I was like going on 22. I didn't make it to 22. I think I was in that relationship like a year and a half. But when I came up out of that relationship, I was just mean as a rattlesnake. If that guy said or did anything, if he said or did anything that I didn't like, before he knew it, I was swinging on him. And he would not hit me back. He said, okay now, Yeah, I ain't gonna keep on letting you hit me like that. I'm gonna get up. I'm leaving. I'm getting out of this relationship. I'm not gonna let you keep hitting me. I mean, and I was fast with my hand. Before he knew it, I was upside their head. I mean, I was cuckoo. I was crazy, and that was because I came out of an abusive situation, and it just made me so mean, and I lashed out, and I thought that was the only way to resolve any problems. Was no talking. I just knew how to just fight. I would just hit that dude all the time upside the head, guys, as hard as I could. To the point that dude said, if you hit me one more time, I'm out of here. And I guess I kind of liked him because I didn't want him to leave. So I kind of restrained myself a little bit. But the abuser, or the not the abuser, but the person that's being abused will become the abuser. And I'm living proof that that happened to me. That actually happened to me. Uh, I want to see some of you guys' comments, but we're gonna talk about women that stay. Why do they stay? So I want to hear some of you guys' comments, and I'm gonna see um, if I can touch down on why I stayed for a year and a half. That was too long, especially when you know you're living with a live wire. Anything can set the person off. No matter what you say or what you did, you can try to be the best in everything, and they still would never be satisfied. So I'm gonna read some comments, and I'll tell you guys again. I reiterate on the time that I cooked dinner. And being young, I was in my 20s, so I wasn't throwing down like that. I was just left the nest. But I knew how to survive. I know how to cook stuff that I like. I couldn't cook like his mom. I just know how to cook things that I knew how to cook. Now he taught me how to make gravy and stuff like that, but I had to fight because he didn't think I was catching on. You know what I'm saying? Just crazy stuff, guys. But thank you, Dorothy, for the super chat. So let me see where we are with the comments. So Tracy say, to support Granny's platform, please super chat, super stickers, appreciate it. Thank you, Tracy. And then Dorothy said exactly when the lady was saying the first thing they do is try to give you so much attention till you're so comfortable with them. These are the signs that you might be in an abusive relationship. First, the first sign is they just love you more than life itself. They give you so much attention and make you feel so special to the point that you just trust them with everything. That's the first thing. The second thing is isolate. To isolate you from your friends and family. Isolate you from your friends and family. That's the second thing that you might experience when you are in a abusive relationship. Do that bring back memories for anybody? I'll tell you the third thing in just a second. So if anybody want to become a member tonight, it's only $9.99 a month, less than a cup of coffee per day. Thank you, Tracy. I have 23 people in the bushes, and I have 14 likes. Please hit the thumbs up, guys. Ariel say, I have plenty of family members who've been through domestic violence. Um, and guys, ladies, let's ask ourselves this question. After getting out of it, why are we still ashamed to talk about it? Even though we know that it might help somebody else along the way. That was a testimony, and that was a test that God brought you through so that you can be a testimony for someone else. Always know that. And mine was not as bad as the lady today that was talking about the guy broke both her thumbs, twice. Just bent her thumbs all the way back to the point of breaking it. He split her hand wide open with a butcher knife. I ain't get it like that, but I did get choked a lot and pushed her down a lot and held down a lot, that kind of stuff. Held down a lot, that kind of stuff. Yelled at a lot. Forced to do things, that kind of stuff. So it still was bad, but I didn't get cut and nothing broken and black eyes. I didn't get that part. But a lot of women have and still going through that. Melina says, Granny, she was on her platform bragging how her mother went to jail for fighting her husband. Lay said this is normal for her. She needs anger management classes. I think all of that, Melina, is just for show. I know that I don't think she really believed that, but she's just trying to cover up what happened. She's embarrassed and she's ashamed and she's embarrassed. And like a lot of us that's been through it, she's probably blaming herself because I heard several times on yesterday, he was saying it's your fault that all of this took place. And she was saying all of this could have been resolved if you had a did this or you had a did that. So they're playing the blame game right now. They're playing the blame game right now. Thank you, Devada. Devada's talking about the membership. Dorothy say, I stayed for 22 years. Oh my God, Dorothy. Dorothy, 22 years. God was with you. God was with you. And then you guys know what else? A lot of women stay in because they get married to those guys. And they think they trying to follow God's commandment as far as a woman should stay with her husband, be submissive, and it's a sin to divorce and that kind of stuff. A lot of women stay in for stuff like that. Wow. Melina says some women don't think a man love her until he hit her. I have heard men say that. And then we also heard Coco said that yesterday. You have to fight her. You have to fight her. So I know she got anger. I know she got a rage in her, and she have anger management, but so do he. And he already came forward and told everybody they both just alike. He done said it more than once. They are both just alike. Not only is she got she need anger management, but so do he. They both need it. So can you imagine two people that's dealing with the same type of thing living together? You know they fight all the time. And by him being a man, this is for your ears, Layla. By him being a man, that man is not going to let you whoop him. I'm telling you. He's going to beat you by any means necessary. If you think you're getting the upper hand, that's when he's going to come out swinging bleeding eyes and blackening eyes and bloody mouth and bloody nose and hitting you in the stomach and throwing you on the ground, stomping you. That man is not going to let you whoop him. I have family members that's been in fight with guys and where the guys put them down on the ground and stepped on them. And when that guy was stomping them, they saying stuff like, "See what you made me do?" Standing over them saying that. "I told you to stop trying to whoop me. You ain't no man." These are the things that men say to women when they in a fight, a heated fight. When the woman is trying to whoop the man. An alpha man is not going to let a woman rule over them. It's not going to happen. Marlena said, Doctor say, "I stayed because I grew up without a father. Didn't want my kids to grow up without a father." Dorothy, I have heard so many females say that. They stay in the relationship for the kids. But you know that that's not good for the kids, because the kids, if they don't see it, they hear it. They hear daddy jumping on mama every night, 2-3 times a week. See mama walk around with black eyes, wearing dark shades, fat lips. Talking about, "Baby, it's gonna be okay. Daddy just upset right now. Daddy tired. That he didn't mean to. He didn't mean to." Trying to explain to the children. Trying to explain to the kid. Tell me, am I lying? Tell me, am I lying? I know I'm not. Because my mama did it. Try not to let the kids look at dad side eye and as a bad person. You sitting there taking up for daddy, talking about, "Daddy didn't mean to hurt mama. Daddy just in a bad mood. Or daddy, mom made a mistake and burnt them or something crazy. And it was just a reaction. He didn't mean to. It was an accident." Just lying to the children, trying to make that man stay the daddy, and the children be looking at, girls love their dad. Try to make sure the kids keep the respect for the daddy. Women gotta be strong in this world. Because women done went through some stuff. That's why we get so in an uproar when we hear somebody experiencing domestic violence. It really triggers a lot of us. Doctor say that is that false security. That's right. Hey, Willette. Please like, share, and subscribe. Melina says, "This has been a toxic environment from the beginning because Franklin text message of calling the last argument a skit, but it wasn't. She don't walk away. Coke need to." That's what I told him last night. Stop. Why you keep going back? Why you keep letting her talk you into staying? I know you're listening. Why are you keep letting her talk you into staying? It has happened 3-4 times this year. We just in August. And that's not talking about the little small specks. One time you guys did a video. And this was a normal day. And y'all were just disagreeing about what you want to name your dog kennel. You remember that, Coke? You remember that? Do you remember that? And she was trying to tell you what you were saying didn't make no sense to her and how it should be. And you were standing your ground of what you wanted to name it and what each letter stood for. It was something like uh, I can't remember, something about boy, kennel or something like that, and each letter stood for something. And I was like, this is how they talk to each other. They can't even have a regular conversation about future plans without it becoming combative. It was loud, over the top. Y'all was arguing about it. And it was just, I thought something was gonna jump off. Y'all was discussing it, but y'all was arguing. So that was normal to you guys. First, you guys need to learn how to communicate, because I didn't hear any communication going on. I just heard both of you guys trying to be heard. You really wasn't listening to what she was saying because you want to get your point in, and she really wasn't listening to what you were saying. She was trying to get her point in. Try to hold a conversation with somebody that's not really listening to you. It's pointless. And that's what it sounded like. And y'all did that on social media. And I was driving down the road when I heard it, because I tune in every now and then and just sit in the bushes, just see what's going on with a lot of platforms. And I said, wow, I was amazed. I said, is that how they talk to each other? Wow. And this on a normal day. That's what I said. That's what I said when I heard y'all trying to have a conversation. Y'all were just yelling, and then y'all had the social media live. Y'all got to stop doing everything on social media. Y'all asking the people in the chat, what y'all think? What y'all think? No, no, no. Y'all gonna have to turn the darn thing off sometime when y'all trying to make a family decision. But I think all of that is just going down the drain after yesterday. I truly think that you, as the man, should let it go. I think you should let it go and move on. You're not a bad looking man. You gotta handle them ghosts and them skeletons that you dealing with that make you be so angry inside. You gotta deal with that. You gotta handle that. You might need to go to counseling to help you just get it under control. But you're not a bad looking man. But I would not advise you to get out of one relationship and get into another relationship and then do the same thing. You cannot be out here in this world laying hands on these women, whether they want you to or not. You heard the story when I said I used to go upside that man's head. I used to go upside that man's head hard as I could. If he said something the wrong way to me, or he didn't give me what I was asking for, before he knew it, I was fast. Whop! He'd be like, oh my God, I know you didn't just hit me. You better not hit me no so and so more. But he didn't attack me. He didn't attack me. He took so many hits upside the head and so many slaps to the point that dude told me, if you hit me one more time, I'm out of this relationship. I'm out of this relationship. And I didn't blame him. He didn't leave. I stopped. We got married. But I'm just saying, but it took that. He had to show me love before I came back to myself. No matter how many times I hit him, and I know I was wrong, that guy never snapped back. Plenty of time he could have knocked the head right back out of me, but he never did. And I respect him as today. I respect him today for being the man that he was, that he didn't lay hand on me. Because I was wounded. I was I was already in a bad place when he met me. I was broken when he got with me. See what I'm saying? So when you got with Layla, she was already broken. She didn't have a chance to get over what she had already been through. So she don't need you to do the same thing that man did. She needs you to be the man and not do it. And show her what a real man and how a real man treat a woman. But you got to just stay out the way when y'all arguing. If she charged you or hit you, because I was the same way. I would hit that dude before he knew it. I was the same way. But a lot of women that's been in abusive relationships, they're broken when they come out of those relationships. They're broken, but they still want love. But they already broken. They're broken. It takes a strong man to deal with somebody that's been in a bad relationship. It takes a strong man. Strong. Dorothy say, I left him 25 years ago and didn't look back. I'm glad you did, Dorothy, because if you hadn't, we might not have you. We might not have you, Dorothy. I'm so happy that you did. Dorothy say, it's all bad, but mental abuse is worse than physical abuse sometimes. Girl, I had to deal with all three. All three. Exactly. Dorothy say, exactly. I was legally married. Yep. Yep. I wasn't married to my abuser, and I'm happy that I wasn't. Because that dude was on his way to Hell. I told y'all, I was finna put him in a box. But God came in, the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, don't you kill that man. Don't you kill that man. Because if you kill that man, you ain't going to be around to raise your child. Don't you kill that man. You just get out of it. And I got out of it, but I was gonna put him in a box. I had already planned and everything. I was going to put him in a box. Yes, I was. That's how bad it had got for me. Melina say, I pray for those women who feel like they have no one to turn to and stay in an abusive relationship. Yes, ladies. Yes, yes, yes. I just want you guys, I pray that you guys find somebody to talk to, somebody you can confide in, and try to figure out what to do to get out the relationship. If you see that your abuser not getting any better, they don't want any help, they enjoy hurting you, making you cry, you got to get out of that, ladies. You got to get out of that. You got to get out of that. And within the past 10 years, so many women have died trying to get out of those relationships because those guys, they got mental problems and they killing the women after the women leave. Once the woman on left and got out the relationship, they stalking them and killing them. Don't want nobody else to be with them. And it's a sad, sad, sad situation. It really is. Dorothy say, I tell everyone that I talk to, I should have left after 7 years, but I stayed. And I tell everybody that I talk to, I should have left as soon as he laid hands on me. When he was on his knees crying and begging me, talking about he'll never do it again, I should have left. I should have left. I should have left. I should have left. Jennifer say, and sometimes not having enough income. That's true. Jennifer, I made the income I worked, he didn't. Melina say, I knock on wood because I never had a man physically, mentally, emotionally, and verbally abuse me, but I grew up watching it. Yes. The brother say, so happy you all got out of it alive. Yep. Jennifer say, oh, Dorothy. Ariel say, when I was a child, I grew up watching this man abuse my mom. Yes, Ariel, my father fought my mom. Dorothy say, but one thing I can truly say, he never put his hand on me. But one thing I can truly say, he never put his hands on me. I don't understand that, Dorothy. I thought he was abusive. How he was just abusive verbally? What type of abuse did you experience if he never laid hands on you? Willette say, excuse my lateness. It's okay, Willette. You can just join in if you can uh, if you can resonate on what we're talking about. If you have any words for anybody that's in a bad relationship about if you have ever experienced it, then speak on it so these young people can know there is no way to live. That's no way to live. I titled my story time tonight, he didn't mean to hurt me. It was my fault. That's why I named it that. Because a lot of women, they say that. They say that. He didn't mean to. It was my fault. I made him mad. I shouldn't have did that. I should have had his food ready for him. I know what make him mad. That was my fault. That was my fault. They always get them joker an excuse and a way out, y'all. And it's sad. It's sad. Melina say, Ariel, I did too. I have two sisters and watching this affect us differently. Willette, you are okay. We had a late start tonight. Yes. Melina says yes. Devetta, support Granny. Modestan say, just finished teaching. Glad to catch you live. Hello, everyone. Hugs. Thank you, ma'am. We love you. Everybody say hello. We're talking about domestic violence. We're trying to start women to talk about it and stop holding it in. If you experience it in your lifetime, it's time to talk about it. It's time to educate the younger women that's going through it now. And it's time to tell them our testimony, our experience, how we felt, how we was ashamed, how we was embarrassed. We didn't want to tell our family members what was going on, and how we just lived and took it in silence. And a lot of women is doing exactly that right now. They living in silence, and they taking that abuse. And they don't have anybody, they feel as though they don't have anybody to talk to, because those jokers will isolate you and take you from your family, your friends, and they'll move you to a different state. They'll move you, like with my sister, her husband, I don't know whether he fought her or not, but he moved her away from everybody. He moved her to the country, his hometown. And I used to ask her as a young girl. She was my older sister. She had me like 6 years. And when I got like 15, 16 years old, I would ask her, did he fight her? And she always told me no. But I tell you guys what he did, though. He took her to his hometown. And when he got her to the hometown, she knew nobody. He knew the whole town because he lived in a small town. He know everybody. Everybody was family, or they knowed everybody. Everybody knew everybody. And when he took her down there, she would, and the only thing, and then he went, he wasn't loving on her, and he wasn't. I guess you could call that mental abuse. He had her working in the peach patch, picking peaches. That was her job in the summertime, and the only thing she would do, she would just eat. She always was the best cook because she was the elder daughter. And so my mom worked all the time, so she had to take care of the siblings. So she had to know how to cook and all that stuff. So She was down there. She was cooking. When she went down there, she was shaped like a Coca-Cola bottle, y'all. She was a brick house. She was a brick house. She was shaped like a brick house. She's a brick house. 36, 24, 36. Oh, what a winning hand. My sister was she was bad when she got married to that dude. He took her to the country. About 3-4 years went by and she was big as a house. She was big as a house. All she did was cook and ate, ate. She had got almost to 400 pounds, guys. And that's my sister I told you guys about. She had to do the gastric bypass because it was killing her. It was too much weight on her heart. Now she has congestive heart failure right now, but she's doing so much better. So much better since she did the gastric bypass. She's doing so much better. But yeah. Yes. That's what happened. So many of us have so many stories to share, guys. Let's do an open forum and let's share these stories with these women. See, can we bring these women out from being ashamed? I feel like we can bring them out from being ashamed if they can just see the faces of so many women who have been through it. If they could just see the faces and hear some of the stories, I think that'll bring a lot of them out, because that shameness and that embarrassment, it will take a toll on you. And you do feel so ashamed. You don't want anybody to know what you're going through. And you just take it. You take it. Okay, so Doctor said, Devetta, he already doing that. Whose sister called you at 3 a.m. for nothing? Wow. Dorothy, I misunderstood. I think we got the story all backwards. It might just be me. But what I thought was he was asleep at 3 a.m. in the morning. That's when she had got his phone. She's going through the phone trying to find out, is he messing around? Who now? And she saw a strange number. And that's when she went off. She saw a strange number that he had been on talking to somebody, and she had no idea who it was. So she woke him up at 3 a.m. in the morning. He wasn't on the phone at 3 a.m. But see, that's that rage and that's that jealousy. This man on the bed asleep, and you sneaking around. Wonder what possessed her not to be asleep too at 3 a.m. in the morning. Why is you sitting up going through his phone? That was a fight that did not have to take place. If you know what they say, Layla, curiosity killed the cat, baby. Curiosity killed the cat. You cannot be doing that. You just gotta trust your dude. I think you guys have came to a crossroad. It's time for you guys to go your separate ways. I really believe that. And so many of us, we believe that. Since you guys brought it to social media, and now everybody's in your business, everybody see what's going on. So many of us agree on this. And you and Coco need to take heed. Warning before destruction. Warning before destruction, Coco. Warning before destruction. Everybody's telling you to get out of that before you hurt that woman. She got a rage in her. And you know, if that rage is charging you like a bull, you got to either get out the way lay that bull down. I advise you to get out the way. That's what I say. Get out the way. And you can't say you didn't have ample opportunity to get out the way. You cannot say if anything happened from this day or from yesterday to the next time. You cannot say, because you said today, once you blank out, then that's the end. That's dangerous right there. You telling people that you blanking out when she be calling you all kind of names and be up in your face, acting like a dude. You blanks out. Wow. So you gonna blank out one day, when you come to, she gonna be down on the floor cold. You can't be blanking out. You better get out of that mess. You better get. If I was your mom, I'd tell you to get out of that relationship. I would say, son, you got to get out of that relationship. And I know everybody's making sense to you. Don't be stubborn. What are you staying around for? What are you staying around for? You better get out of that relationship. Granny. Hi. You okay? You want to be on the speaker? Okay. This is Dorothy, guys. Okay, Dorothy. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dorothy.
Okay, now he never hit me, but he was very, very mentally abusive and mind gameish. You know, like when we first got together, everything was all hoo-hoo and bunny roses, you know? But then as time went on and I got pregnant with the first baby, he started leaving me at home by myself and getting off from work and having people to come by the house and tell me he not coming home tonight, so I might as well just go ahead on and get mad. And here I am sitting in the house 8-9 months pregnant by myself, you know, and all this kind of good stuff. And if you leave me, ain't nobody gonna want you. You ain't this, you ain't that, and just stuff like that. And we had 3 kids together. And each 3 kids, he was not there when I delivered.
Wow. That was hard.
Then he got on crack.
Oh, Lord.
In 84. And I still didn't leave him.
Wow.
Here I am. He out 2-3 days in a row. I'm here and there looking for him. Y'all seen blah, 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 blah. No, we ain't seen him. And then he come after he done got paid on Friday. Spent the whole paycheck over the weekend on crack. And then want to come home Monday morning. Oh, no, sir. This particular Monday morning, I was dropping the kids off at school. They were in high school by then.
Right.
So I'm driving down the street, and I see him walking down the street. So I hurry up. I drop the kids off at school. I go around the other way because I could go around the other way back to home. I got home. I packed all that stuff. I put it on the front porch. I called the police. And he come knocking on the door, talking about letting him in. No. You know what? Your stuff is on the front porch. Since you didn't see fit to come home again, go back where you were. So he sit out on the front porch for a little while, and I'm looking at him through the peephole. I told him, you can sit out there as long as you want, because, you know, the police on the way, but I'd already called him. His name was never on nothing.
Wow.
So this is the first thing the police asked me when they got there. Was his name on the lease?
Right.
No, sir. Okay, well, sir, you got to go. And that was 25 years ago.
Woo.
All right, that's the end of my testimony.
Well, Dorothy, thank you so much. That was good. Okay, so it was a mental thing. Okay, well, we so appreciate you calling in. I just want people to hear. Oh, yeah. Oh, girl, if somebody playing with your mind, that'll drive you crazy. So I know the mental is just as bad as the physical. That's it. All right, thank you. We love you. Oh, okay. So, guys, Marlena says, do anybody think that Coco is a victim of domestic violence also? What do you all say in the chat about that? Is he a victim also? He could be, because when I was the aggressor, the guy was the victim because I was hitting on him. I was going upside his head every time things didn't go my way. So yeah, he said that she be trying to be the dude and she be fighting him. So he have to lay her out. I don't want him to lay her out though. I want him to just leave. So yeah, he's a victim. They both victims. Tracy say yes, he is. Mother Stat say yes, because Layla is aggressive. She provokes him. That's what he said. He said she provokes him. She be all up in his face like, nigga, I dare you. I dare you to put your so-and-so hand on me. You be. You know, y'all know seen her. Y'all know seen her in real life and living color. Y'all know how she be doing. It's hard. It's hard, man, what they going through. Doctor say, so do I'll be all in them trees and they never know I'm there. This man was my mom's ex-boyfriend. Melina, yes, Layla is the aggressor. I used to come home every day and cry, but I'm so glad my mom left him. I know that. Thank God he saved your mom from that. Hey, Annette. Ladies, there's help. You don't have to be nobody's punching bag. Please have an exit plan. Many prayers. That's right. That's right. Annette, I told that's part of my testimony. I couldn't just tell the dude I was leaving. I had to plan. I had to come up with a plan to get out of it. And that's what I try to tell anybody that's going through it right now. Since these men are being so deadly and they killing these women, you got to come up with a plan. You can't be up there saying, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave you. And they already like, ain't nobody going to have you. You ain't going, nobody going to get you. And they already threaten you saying that. So it's best to keep your mouth shut. It's best don't be telling that a mental patient you're going to leave them. It's best don't be saying that. Don't be saying that. If you're going to do it, just do it. Don't be talking about it. Don't be talking about it. And when you do it, I separated myself by going to a whole different state where I knew that dude couldn't find me and he didn't know nobody in that state. So I wasn't worried about him finding me. He was stuck in one spot and I was in a spot. So he couldn't find me. And after so much time went by, like about a month, he came from where he was to where I was, because I was back home. I came back home. But I'm just saying, I had to put some space between us. It just so happened he got in trouble. He got locked up for shoplifting. And when he got locked up, because see, God was on my side. I told you, because I was going to put him in a box. He got locked up for shoplifting. And I was in the store with him. And the guys came up to me, the people that be watching, what they call those people in the store that be watching to see who's stealing. They came up to me, they said, we know you ain't got nothing to do with it. We saw you telling him you didn't want to have nothing to do with it. We got you on camera saying, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I got money. What I'm being so stealing for? So I was so glad they got all of that on tape. And he's still stealing anyway. They took his butt to jail, and that's how I got away. That was one of the ways that I got away. It was other stuff that went along with that. But thank you, Annette. Thank you. Because somebody needed to hear that tonight. Dorothy say he was the man who needed. He was the man you needed. Yeah. Dorothy say, exactly, Granny. Melina say, Devada, I agree. I saw that yesterday. I was shocked seeing her going after him, even though she said he hit her. Dorothy say, very, very, very much so. Devada say, please like, share, and subscribe, guys. Melina say, Devada, do you believe he hit her? Devada say, Melina, she started it by going in his phone. Dorothy say, I had a rough upbringing. I got with my husband when I was 16 and I left home. Wow, Dorothy, you were still a baby. Dorothy say, yes, that part. Dorothy say, his name was on nothing. No lease, no deed, nothing. So when the police came, he had to leave. Praise God. Devada say, Melina, a possibility because I believe the snatching of the cover may have caused him to react, caught off guard. He said that when she did that, he had a flashback of being locked up in the prison. And y'all know, in prison, y'all know saw TVs and all that stuff. When they be in prison and then they do a shakedown, they wait till those guys go to sleep and then they do a raid. They do a shakedown. They start pulling up mattresses, flipping mattresses, snatching off covers. So he said he had a flashback when she did that because he was asleep. He said it gave him a flashback. So I believe that. I believe that. Dorothy said, Devada, you never know what happened to him in prison. Amen. Amen. You said it, girl. That's right. Devada say, okay, please like, share, and subscribe, guys. Dorothy say, is your phone on, Granny? Yeah. And they say, I'm so happy I found your channel. You're speaking on real life issue. I love this topic. Women, there's help if you're serious about leaving an abusive situation. That's right, Annette. Dorothy say, hello, Annette. Melina say, Devada, yeah, I think he hit her too. Yeah, I do. I think he hit her. Modestant say, nice to hear Dorothy's voice. Yeah. Jennifer, so sorry you had to go through that, Dorothy. Devada say, please hold the comment. Tracy say, thanks for calling, Dorothy, and sharing your story. And they say, hallelujah, Dorothy. Devada say, thank you for calling, Dorothy. Tracy say, yes, he is a victim. Robin say, hey, everybody. Hey, Robin. Modestan say, yes, because Layla is aggressive. She provoked him many times. Sad. That is true. Dorothy, thanks, Modestance. Tracy say, hey, Robin. Dorothy say, okay, I'm back. Modestan say, Dorothy, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing. Tracy say, Robin say, hey, Tracy, Modestance, and Dorothy. And Jennifer say, hello, Robin. How are you doing? Dorothy say, I'm sorry I talk fast. No, we understood you quite well, sis. Great job. Robin, hey, good to see you here. And Devada say hello. Jennifer says hello. And Ariel. Robin say hello to all you guys. You all got the number out for Robin? Dorothy say, that's the reason why I didn't mind working and paying all the bills. I didn't have to run nowhere. She's been attacking. Yep. She's been attacking him, yeah. Please like, share, and subscribe. Dorothy say, I might have been stupid, but I wasn't dumb. And girl, life will teach you. Life will give you some experience, you know. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You will. You will get those life experiences if you live. You will get those experiences. And another thing I was going to tell you guys about is when she gets angry, and just like last night, she was on live trying to, he stopped talking to her. He told her that he was leaving today, and she's on live, and she know he was listening because he listens to her the same way she do him. But the only difference between the two of them is she got a lot of fake pages, and he never know what name she's going to come in under. He never know what page she's going to come in under. So she know he was watching. And so she was saying stuff like, well, guys, he said he's going to leave tomorrow. He's supposed to be leaving. And then she say, I'm not going to say nothing bad about him. I'm not going to say nothing bad about him because I love him. I love him. I'm going to tell you this, little sis. Love don't hurt, okay? When it hurt, it's not love. When it hurts, it's not love. And I know that, like you said, you don't know whether God is testing you. God ain't testing you, okay? But you a strong girl. God is not testing you to stay in a domestic violence situation. That's not of God. God is not testing you to see how many punches you can take. How many black eyes, busted lip, bloody nose, chokeholds. God is not testing you for that. You might be being tried. You might be being tried because you know that you're dealing with something yourself. You're not well yourself. A relationship is not what you need. You need counseling. You need to learn to love yourself first before anybody can love you. Because if you don't know how to love yourself, how do you think someone else gonna love you? Sometimes you have to show people how to love you. And if you think being hit upside the head, choked, stomped is love, then that's not love. You need to separate from a relationship and just cater and pamper yourself for like a year or two. Just like a year or two. If you want to have friends, you can have friends. But you should not get into any more relationships until you fix yourself. Any more relationship until you fix yourself. You got to know what love feels like. And if you ain't met anybody that can show you that, love yourself. Everybody can see a change in you, Layla. From when you first came on social media to now. You don't look the same. When you first came on, you had a spark about yourself. You could tell you was happy. You was happy inside. You was happy inside with yourself. And you thought that you was the shiznit. You had that confidence. You walked with your head back. And you were so proud of that big old swaying, big old hippopotamus butt. But after being around that man, calling you fat, asking you why your butt's so big, and just knocking you down, chipping at you, chipping at you, chipping at you, chipping at you, you don't look the same anymore. You don't look happy. You don't have that confidence that you had when you first met that dude. He chipped you away. He chipped you away, and you think you in love. It's not love. It's more lust. You might just be in love with the sex. And you talk about trees. I just think you guys love the sex. Maybe the man really good in bed. I don't know. And I don't care. But if that's the only thing you're getting out the relationship is good sex, then that's not good. He should treat you like a queen. And he should demand that everyone around you treat you in the same manner, especially guys. You should feel like you're worthy enough to be treated like a queen. Royalty, not a peasant, not a punching bag, not a workhorse. None of those things is love. You got it confused. You're really confused. You got to go work on yourself. I know your mama been talking to you. Your sister been talking to you, but you're so scared. You're so scared that you're never going to find love again. But what good is finding love again if you're not ready for love? You got to work on yourself. You're not ready for love. Love yourself. You're not ready to receive love from someone else. You got to love yourself. You got to love yourself first. Once you show yourself love, then you can show somebody how to love you. Never think that you're never going to see love again in your life to where you got to hold on to a bad relationship. You're in a bad relationship right now. It's very volatile. It's toxic. He's going to hurt you or you going to hurt him. It's sad. And then you have to come on social media and put your brave face on like everything's okay when you know you are damaged inside. It's killing you. You know it is. He's chipping away at your self-esteem. You think love's supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to hurt. I wish you could meet my daughters. I wish you could meet some of my sons' wives. Married. Happy. 15, 20 years. Still going strong. They argue. But ain't nobody laying no hands on nobody. Happy. Still love each other. After 15, 20 years. Nobody want to go nowhere. Happy. You can see it. The children, they happy. They having no inner problems. They not suffering. The wives, they keep their hair, nail, and makeup done. They flawless, working, happy. Happy. You need to see what that look like. You need to associate yourself with happy people. You might need to let social media go for a minute. Take down your page. Save all your subscribers, all your hard work. Just take down your page for a month. Just get off social media. You got some soul searching to do. You got some soul searching to do, sis. You got to ask yourself, why am I in this? Why am I still here? Why I didn't leave when he first laid hands on me? Why am I so angry? You got some soul searching to do. And by your mother being an evangelist, you got to get some Jesus and God in your life. You got to go to church. God will change you. He will change your heart. He will open your eyes. He will show you what you don't see. You got to try him. And I know you know about him because your mom is an evangelist. So I know you know about him, but you don't have him in your life right now. You don't have him in your life right now. It shows. When you have Jesus in your life, you got a glow about you. You got to stop following behind that man. It's not such a bad thing to break up with him. That does not mean that you are defeated. Of course, you're going to have the people talking about, see there, you doing it, you going, there you go, see, they're going to compare you. You know they're going to compare you with Trees. They already going to do that. That's why you need to take down that social media page. You already know you're going to hear that. You already know you're going to hear them people tell you, Lele lost them too, because she was not a good woman. You can be the best woman, but he's damaged. He need help. You need help. Two broken people don't make a whole. He got to go make himself whole by himself. You got to go make yourself whole by yourself. Y'all can't be two broken people coming together and think it's going to make one. How you going to make two people out of one? That doesn't work. That means half and half. Two halves. He's half of a man. You half of a woman. Put them together, what do you got? A half a man and a half a woman. Two broken pieces. If you don't do nothing else, if you take nothing else from my message, because I know you're listening, you got to let it go for a while. You got to go work on yourself for a while. You're not the same person that we met 9 months ago. When we first met you, you had a air about yourself. When you did that first skit about you know, acting like Shanae on Martin, that was a woman with confidence. She's gone. She's not there anymore. You watching this man like he's a piece of steak or meat or something. Why are you doing that? Why are you watching everything he do? I don't understand. That means that something's not right. Let him go. Let it go. If y'all, let me tell you something. Believe this. When I broke up with my son's father, I was in love with this dude. And that's the same dude I said that he didn't leave me after I was going upside his head all the time. The person that I abused, I married. When I broke up with that dude, I said to myself, and I was young. I was young, late. I was in my late 20s, early 30s. And I said, Lord, I'm going to let him go. And if it's meant to be, I know you bring him back to me. We never got back together. It was never meant to be. It was never meant to be. When he went to Germany, instead of me going to Germany and joining him there, I let him go. I let go. I let go. And when I let go, I prayed about it because I had heard the old people say that. If it's meant to be, then God will bring it back together. And I believe that. And it never came back together. So you got to let it go for now. And if it's meant to be later in life when you both are mature mentally and y'all both got it going on, y'all might get back together. You already know that he might be getting ready to go serve a little time. You're going to be left alone anyway. That's just what? 3 months from now? He got to go serve some time. Did you forget that? Granny. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I done put that phone number up there 3 times and it all disappeared.
Okay, let me do it.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm just saying to you, y'all give me one. If it's meant to be, y'all to get back together when y'all older and much more mature. But right now it's too volatile, and somebody's gonna get hurt, and it just don't make any sense that you all gonna sit around and hurt each other thinking that it's love when it's not right now. You got to be able to move on. You heard him say yesterday that he say it no ran its course. I believe that. It no ran its course. And you guys know when the bad, I'm going to change it. When the bad outweigh the good, it's time to go anyway. If the good outweighed the bad, then it's something worth fighting for. But see, your bad is outweighing your good. Y'all been fighting because y'all don't get along. He said, this is how he described y'all relationship. 2 strong personalities. Very dangerous. This man know that. If he know that, you got to know that too. You got to know that too. It's no way you don't know that. So you got to stop closing your eyes to the truth. You know that, right? I hope these are words that you can live by. Because I'm telling you what I see on the outside looking in. And sometimes you can get a better bird's eye view when you're on the outside looking in. See, you up in there. You in too deep to where you can't see the forest for the trees. I'm standing way back here. I can see what you don't see. And I'm giving you the best advice that I can give you right now, young lady. Walk away. Let him go. Let him go, okay? I know you're going to be okay. And I know it's going to be hard at first, but each day it's going to get easier and easier. But pick that Bible up and start reading those scriptures. Y'all go ahead and have that one last night of love making, okay? But just let it be a love making of saying goodbye. And y'all go y'all separate ways for now. You got to say goodbye. You got to say goodbye. Just kiss and say goodbye. If anybody wants the number, I post the number. So the number, if anybody want to call in, is 669-235-1139. It's posted. So there you go. So I'm just telling you, I just hate to see anybody in a bad relationship, a volatile relationship, a toxic relationship. I can't just sit back and watch that because I've been there and I've done that. I already did that before. And everything that I experienced is a lesson for somebody else. I can tell you what I went through. And many, many others can tell you what we went through. So you can know that there's nothing good in it. We had this young girl. I told the story. She broke up with the guy. They had a baby together. The baby was a little baby. She goes to get her baby from daycare. This fool, the baby daddy, goes inside the daycare and holds everybody up gunpoint. He held everybody up in the daycare. Children, staff members, everybody. Talking about, telling her, come get out of there. Come out of there. He got a gun on everybody. He coming to get the mama or his baby. She takes her baby running. She ran behind the little daycare where some woods was located, running with the baby in her arm. Do you know that dude chased her down and shot her multiple times with the baby in her arm? Didn't kill the baby, but he killed her. Domestic violence kills. Warning before destruction. It's so many people trying to talk to you right now. So many people trying to talk to both of you guys. Nobody's being biased. Nobody's taking sides. People giving you good advice. People giving him good advice. But the ending of everybody's conversation is get out. Leave now. Stop. And I'm going to close my conversation there tonight. And I hope that it helps somebody. And I hope that it reaches the two people that I most want to hear it. Jennifer say, shaking my head, she be doing too much. Robin, you see the number? Melina, she love him, but he doesn't love her. Coke said, he just comfortable, in my opinion. Melina, absolutely, Granny. Love doesn't hurt. Dorothy, yes, Granny, you and me about the same age. Jennifer, so true, Granny. Devada, Melina, she doesn't believe anything he say when he is mad. She say he is just upset. Devada, love is happiness. Robin, what number, Devada? Dorothy, I am single and loving it. A lot of people are single and loving it, baby. You better learn that, Layla. It's not the worst thing, baby. We living our best life. Melina say, Devada, so sad. Devada say, Robin, the number that you asked for. Dorothy say, exactly, friend. I deal with you when I want to deal with you. Melina say, did y'all see Poison Ivy trying to explain that wasn't her on his TikTok last night? She was lying. That was her. Dorothy say, amen to that. Robin say, no, Devada, I will call in tomorrow. Devada say, that will be fine too. Melina said, people will know by how you treat yourself by the things you tolerate. You better say it. Devada said, Melina, no, I didn't. Melina said, Devada, it was too funny. She was looking a mess too. Dorothy say, it took me being by myself to love myself. Amen. Modest Stance say it, Granny. Thank you, Modest Stance. Melina say, every relationship has problems, but abuse should never be looked at as normal. Devada say, Melina, oh my God, but she was showing her body off tonight. She looks good. Dorothy say, and I'm perfectly fine being by myself. Dorothy say, great conversation tonight, Granny. Thank you, Dorothy. Devada Tracy said, do you see my message where I sent the number twice? Because my message is disappearing on my end. I don't know what be going on, guys. I have no idea. Dorothy say, just dying inside. Yeah. Tracy, no, I don't. Melina say, poor thing. Poor thing can't even go to work and make the 6-figure she's capable of making because she's worrying about what he's doing. Dorothy say, exactly. My daughter wanted to see Silk Sonic for her birthday in Las Vegas. Son-in-law took her. Yes, that's beautiful. It's beautiful when we know what we went through and to see our children doing it. They got relationship that you can look upon and say, now that's a normal relationship right there. They have their little spats, but ain't nobody fighting. Ain't nobody walking around with bruises on them, 15, 20 years relationship. And I'm sure your mother want that for you, ma'am. I'm sure your mother wants that for you. She wants the best for you. So you need to respect her and talk to her like you got some sense. She only wants the best for you. You ain't got to throw in her face, well, that's what I saw you do. You used to fight your boyfriend. You went to jail for fighting a man. Don't talk to your mom like that. She already know her mistakes. She don't need you to remind her of her mistakes. She just don't want you to repeat them. Melina say, Granny, it's definitely easier said than done. First, they need to see it's a problem. Dorothy say, a mess. Cooking with Tracy say, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Mama Stan say, cooking with Tracy, hello. I'm staying with Granny. Dorothy say, good night, all. I'm staying with Granny. Eric say, okay. Cooking with Tracy say, hello, okay. Devada say, okay. Dorothy, thank you, Dorothy. Exactly. That's what that say. Dorothy say 2 months. Dorothy say, but the thing that gets me, that she didn't register her brain. The man said he didn't love her. Well, I know he just said that. I know he just said that out of anger. So I know that. He just said that. And everybody ran with that. That didn't mean nothing. He got the same love for her that she got for him, but it's toxic. It's toxic love. He loved certain things about her. He loved things about her. He might love the way she give him her money. He might love the way that she support him and make sure if he need anything, she'll give it to him. As long as he doing everything that she want him to do. So he might love those things about her. He might love the love making. Because somebody said, she only doing it because she want to make up. And then he said, I believe you guys. I believe that. But he do too. He love the makeup sets too. He love it too. Dorothy says she's trying to hold on to something that's not there. You better say that now. Yes, Lillian, she needs some type of counseling or something. She needs that for sure. Because she got to deal with that anger issue that's in her. That rage. I had it before. I had it before. I know Layla will be live after seeing movie. First and foremost, no type of domestic violence should be tolerated, physical or mental. You're right. Well, her mom was a fighter. Okay. So she don't want her daughter to be a fighter. That's what I just spoke on. So you're right. I just heard that for the first time today. All have a wonderful night. Much love. Lillian, and definitely gave her the wrong advice on her and Gaydar situation. What she told her what she tell her developer to stay in it? Stay in it? Wow. That's shocking. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me this evening. Thank you guys for the conversation. I hope we help somebody, guys. I hope we help somebody by not pointing the finger at anybody. And we were just giving of our life experience and things that we had already been through over here. And hopefully somebody listened and we gave somebody some good advice that they can kind of like just meditate on and just think about it. The final decision is yours. But if you took anything from the message, just think about it. And if you just think about it, that's good enough for me. Give it some thought. Good night, all. Thank you, Bushwatchers. I love you guys. Thank you, Devetta. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate you guys. Y'all know I forgot to give you the wrenches, right? So this charge it to my mind, guys. I was trying to get this live off the ground because I was running so late. And I just forgot. But thank you guys for still stepping up and doing what you normally would do anyway. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. And I'm going to try to figure out what was going on with posting the number. And it kept disappearing. I don't know. But we'll see what was going on. We'll try to figure it out. Thank you for joining us, Annette. We really appreciate you dropping by. And hopefully you'll come back again. We enjoyed you. Good night. Waiting on the word, Nevada. Oh, wow. She told him that's really nothing. You mean she told her daughter that that's really nothing? Did he put hands on her? Wow, Nevada. All right, now.